Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we have something very, very interesting that just sprung out of nowhere from tripleS. Just like 2 days ago or something, they announced this, I don't remember exactly how they worded it, gravity novel. I don't know if that was just them saying there's a gravity for the novel, but they're having like a webtoon basically for tripleS, and seemingly there's going to be some sort of gravity participation in it. So then now just today they announced that they're having a gravity, but then already they've released the first chapter apparently. So I have no idea what to expect from this. If we're gonna get more tripleS lore, more if there is any already, I don't know. I've never been a person who's really good at figuring out lore exactly, but with tripleS I'll put all my brain cells into it, man. I never understood shit with Luna, but now if there's lore and a webtoon for tripleS, I will be hyper analyzing every single last thing about it. So very excited to see what they have in store for us there. No idea what to expect obviously, but starting off we'll be watching this video announcing the gravity, I suppose, and then yes, after that I'll actually get into reading the first chapter and then get into this other gravity video they have, which seems like it might be something for deciding something that happens in chapter 2. It just says chapter 2 in the title, so will this be like a whole story that we actually, like a choose your own adventure, like Waves get to decide what happens in each chapter? That'd be pretty crazy, but yeah, I'm super stoked no matter what it is. Then for future chapters, I don't know how many there will be, but for future chapters I would probably do those on the Patreon, so definitely go check that out. Also have lots of other stuff. Already done live stages, done Cap Crush for Christmas Alone, gonna do more live stages soon, plus reactions to their old albums because I have a lot of thoughts on those, and just a lot more tripleS content. So definitely go there if you want to watch all that and also decide on future reactions through weekly random reactions or just deciding specific videos you want to see from any group. Then of course subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any future tripleS reactions on there. Leave a like, leave a comment, and let's get into the video. Okay, so this video is called 웨이브와 함께 만들어가는 이야기, which means the story we create together with Wave. So very excited. The univerS. I just have no idea what to expect.
안녕하세요, 트리플에스입니다.
Hello.
요즘 멤버들 생각하면서 지냅니다.
스윗해.
네, 알죠, 당연히 다 알고 왔어요. 그래비티, 소설 그래비티?
나 아까 봤어. 화면 테스트할 때 진짜 소설 그래비티라고 써있었어.
Spoiler. I've seen sub webtoons that have like background music, so that might be kind of cool. If they have like the lyrics to tripleS songs playing in the background, might be distracting, but there's also the instrumentals, so that might be cool.
여주가 되는 건가? 맞아요.
언니 꿈이잖아. 여주 때문에.
아, 나 뭔지 알고.
연애 소설 같은 내
혹시
스토리.
콘서트 불실 아니에요?
뭔 소리야?
What?
더하면 산으로 가 달라니까 빨리 보여주세요.
Where did that even come from? Okay, 미소년.
고르는 거에 따라서 결말이
달라지는 거야.
그렇죠. 이 이야기를 모르는 거니까 웨이브들이 만들어주는 한편의 소설이 아닐까. 이게 그러면 작가 웨이브.
Yeah, I better get paid for this if I'm coming up with the idea.
갑자기 우주선이 날아왔다. 서연이 하연을 태운다. 너가 우주를 가서 지구를 지켜내렴. 하연이 우주로 날아간다. 23명의 소녀들이 하연을 응원한다.
Hyun spontaneously shoots off into space, and the rest of the girls mourn her death and then move on with their lives. That's the type of story I want to hear.
재밌게 봤거든요. 그것도 이제 선택지가 있는 영화인데 제가 선택하는 거에 따라서 영화가 흐름이 바뀐단 말이에요. 그래서 이것도
This is
그런
gonna be on Netflix eventually, right?
따라서 바뀌니까 더 재밌지 않을까 싶습니다.
It's a lot slower than Black Mirror Bandersnatch because you have to wait a week for your choice to do anything, probably. Okay. So 4 chapters in total. All right. I'm really excited for this, even though I really don't know what to expect. How deep of a lore can you build in just 4 chapters? better be 100 pages long. Okay, very exciting. Okay, ending off the year with week 4.
글을 5일 안에 다 쓰셔야 되는 거 아니에요? 누군지 모르겠지만.
와
5일 안에.
너무 무서운데?
I have a feeling they wrote all of it
뭔가 너무
beforehand. I
새로워서
don't know.
웨이브들도 뭔가 처음 봤었을 때 이게 뭐지 싶으실 것 같은데 막상 과몰입해서 잘 즐기실 것 같은?
싸우시는 거 아니야?
아 다음이야 이걸로 가지
아니 외계인이 거기로 가면 안 된다고.
And is dedicated to it being about alien.
여러분 저희 이번
Suppose this is-
크레딧은 지금
You know, tripleS universe and with the moon, sun, zenith, neptune stuff probably will be. I love sci-fi and space stuff, so that'd be cool.
까지 있었던 그래비티와는 또 다른 느낌의 그래비티일 거니까 많이 관심 가져주시고 여러분들이 생각하시는 대로 흘러갈지 안 흘러갈지도 모르겠지만 여러분들 많이 재밌게 생각하고 해주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
Really not much information given there. I just can't wait to see what the story is about. That's it.
웨이브 화이팅!
Fighting. I've never been an author before. It's actually not true. Just remember that when I was 9 years old, I self-published a book, even did a signing in a library. But I don't think about that much anymore because I'm really not a writer. But I had child privilege there and living in a small town. Anyways, I'm more excited for tripleS. So yeah, I thought we'd get a bit more information here, but let's just get into the first chapter. Okay, I'm here on the website. I was expecting to be more like a webtoon. I guess it's like they said novel, so should have trusted that, but there's little artwork to go with it, I suppose. This is very webtoon style art. Okay, like, are these supposed to be members, I wonder? Just scrolling through here, it's like a solid chapter of a book, but don't want to get any spoilers, so I have to see what the actual story is. Now, if these are supposed to be the members, I'm not sure. This looks like Shinyu, kind of. I don't know who the others would be. These look like one of their Christmas Alone stage outfits. So I wonder how like actually involved with tripleS will be. Will it be like an alternate version of them or just inspired by them? I don't know. Let's find out. The universe 1 pilot English version. Postponing the concert was not an option. We simply had to take the risk of the meteor falling. Ooh, of course, immediately getting into the space stuff. So I'm gonna be talking so much about every line. I'm not used to having to read a lot in reaction videos, but we'll get used to it. So there's a meteor falling. There's a risk of a meteor falling, but they have to do it. So there's going to be like a supernatural spacey element. I would assume so, but maybe it's just a more down-to-earth thing, and it's just a realistic meteor. I don't know. Backstage, Yoon Seoyeon was stretching, but she couldn't focus as usual. Her mind kept drifting back to the news from yesterday. What were the chances that the meteor would fall on the very day of the tripleS concert, the first and possibly the last full tripleS performance at Namsan Neo Stadium? Of course, they can't cancel it. Couldn't possibly cancel it. Although they said it would most likely burn up in the atmosphere, the tiniest what if kept gnawing at Seoyeon. She needed calm. Seoyeon cut her stretching short and ran straight to the member's inner sight. Lin was letting out a little scream as Jubin hugged her tightly from behind. Oh shit. What are you two doing? Seoyeon asked playfully. Hopefully, I'm getting all this on the actual screen, right? What are you doing? Seoyeon asked playfully. It's Naki, Onni, Lin said, her voice rising in exasperation. I'll have to do very, very convincing impersonations of all the tripleS members, of course. Definitely be 24 distinct voices I'll do. It's Naki. Never mind, immediately gave up with no idea. She keeps like scaring me. She said she had some weird dream. I've heard stories like that too. Them all seeing ghosts. I've heard specifically about her. Though Kim Na-kyung herself was just mingling with Haeun in the corner of the waiting room. What did she say? Seoyeon asked. Jubin suddenly cut in to explain. This must be so weird for the members to read, like, oh, it's fan fiction about me, but also it's official content from my company. Imagine having a fan fiction officially published about you without you knowing about it until shortly beforehand. It's really funny. You know how Na-kyung always has that weirdly good intuition? She's always joking that she should open a fortune-telling shop or something. Okay, this is in the Badge War universe. There's continuity here. Anyway, she said she had this dream last night. We tripleS split cleanly into 4, and you turned into a skeleton. Split cleanly into 4 how? Is like each member gets like quartered? Or is it just they're separate? Because you gotta specify that. Might be all 24 members have been cut into quarters. Seoyeon has turned into a skeleton. Alright. Potentially. If Nagang's predictions are correct. I become what? Seoyeon pointed herself. This translation isn't perfect apparently. Why am I part of this? I have no clue. Anyway, Lin Oni got even more spooked. She's the one who told me first. Jumi let out a sly grin. When Lin crossed her arms in complaint, she copied the pose right away. So Lin is apparently scared of this and Bin is just kinda amused by it. That's oddly specific. Seoyeon was sure Nagang was just messing with the kids. Resolving to scold her after the performance, she shot Nagang a quick sidelong glance. Next thing she noticed was Yuyeon, standing alone in front of the stairs. As Seoyeon hurried over in small steps, Yuyeon muttered without even turning around. Something's wrong. Even you, Onni? Seoyeon sighed inwardly. Why? Does your stomach hurt? No, it's just a feeling, Yuyeon said, bouncing anxiously on her feet. I just want it to start already. You know, once we're actually performing, everything else just disappears. As if God had heard Yuyeon's wish or something, the alert to enter the venue burst through their inner ears. Shinyu and Kotone shouted with excitement, and Yeonji, noticing Jiyeon hesitating from nerves, gave her a gentle push on the back. Was that what this art is here? Maybe not, I can't tell. No one's pushing each other on the back. This must be the members, but who's who then? Guys, Kaede shouted, her voice booming. This kind of chance doesn't come around twice. Let's show them what we've got. Okay, maybe this is Kaede, because she did have an outfit very similar to, and the hairstyle like that in one of the Christmas Alone stages. So maybe this is Seoyeon and Yuyeon talking, and then Kaede's looking back like, hey guys, we gotta go. Mayu and Seoyeon, who had been quiet in the back, chimed in with agreement, and soon all the members fell into formation. The moment they stepped onto the stage, the biting cold of the heart of winter mingled with the heat of the lights. Beyond the veil of drifting snowflakes, the shapes of the cheering crowd shimmered. It felt as if nothing in the world could be more beautiful. Like a perfectly crafted model, it seemed as if not a single thing could go wrong. Then why do I still feel so uneasy? Seoyeon drew in a shallow breath. For now, she had to focus on the performance. The concert itself flowed effortlessly. The wide open venue was washed in stage lights and the sunlight that fell evenly across the members. The live sections that highlighted Taehyun and Siyeon's vocals were, as always, a crowd favorite, and the Christmas Carol medley performed by Sumin, Haerin, and Chaewon during the break was met with an equally warm response. Was I just overthinking it? Thanks to that, Seoyeon even had room to breathe and focus on keeping her expression steady during the finale. She even made eye contact with the girl in the first floor standing section. She looked a year or two younger than Saw. She's an evil alien. I'm already predicting it. Seoyeon remembered her from the last fan meeting, where she hadn't been able to say a single word and had just cried. Relatable. When Seoyeon flashed her a small, cute smile, the girl's face lit up, cheeks turning bright red, and seeing that made it all feel worth it. In that moment, something flashed in the sky, catching Seoyeon's attention. Before she could even process what it was, a deafening boom erupted, and the entire stage collapsed in an instant. God damn it, knew this would happen. What if it was just a story where it didn't happen, it's building up to it, and then the rest of the story is just about dealing with the stress of idol life? Ironically enough, that damn meteor had fallen right onto the venue. Ooh, damn. Man, getting vulgar here, Modehouse. When she finally stood up, clutching her aching shoulder, Seoyeon found herself beneath the stage. The air was thick with dust. Security staff were busy evacuating the audience, and several members, including Jiwoo and Yubin, were helping them. On the stage, Seoyeon grabbed the mic and tried to calm the chaos. Please stay calm and follow the evacuation instructions. Good characterization there. Seems like Seoyeon. Even Saw, the youngest of us all, was helping Nian move the fallen stage lights to a safe distance. Ah. As Seoyeon looked around at the space rapidly falling back into order, she realized it. So this was what I'd been afraid of deep down. tripleS had become a community that could carry on responsibly even without Seoyeon stepping in to guide them. It was at least something she should have felt grateful for, but Seoyeon could no longer avoid asking herself what role she had left. Damn. Getting personal here. Seoyeon isn't even like the official leader overall. And she had fallen toward the audience area anyway. She thought she might be able to help that young fan from earlier. The girl was already sprinting away with all her strength, far beyond Seoyeon's reach. It was a relief she wasn't seriously hurt. Oh! Just as Seoyeon felt herself relax, a low wail, something like a ship's horn, rang out. How's my performance there? Make sure to give a review on how my performance is for all of this in the comments. When Chaeyeon's scream layered over it, a chill shot down her spine. I admire how they're doing some good characterization for them. Of course, Chaeyeon's scream is going to be the loudest one. Looking up at the sky, she saw 3 massive skeletal fingers descending toward them, menacing and slow. Is this what it would feel like to watch a human hand closing in from inside a snow globe? Well, hopefully there's a glass protecting you if it's a snow globe, and you turn into a skeleton. The words Jubin had told her circled ominously in her mind. God damn it, Seoyeon's lost her role in the group, so now she's gonna become a skeleton. Seoyeon dragged her heavy feet forward. Something she couldn't explain was pulling her closer to the meteor. It wasn't a simple piece of rock. A smooth, metallic spacecraft stood before Seoyeon. It looked like one of those magical eggs from the cartoons she used to watch as a child. Is that a reference to a specific thing? If it is, I don't know. I don't know what. As if hypnotized, Seoyeon extended her hand, but it passed clean through the ship, like touching a hologram. Even the spacecraft seemed to reject her. Give me your role. Anything. Seoyeon sank to her knees, pleading. I don't want to die useless. God damn. Imagine Seoyeon just reading this. Like, wow, okay, they wrote this story about me just feeling completely useless in the group. This is getting more personal than I would have expected. Don't let me end up as a skeleton. As her desperate cry tore out of her, a sudden chill spread across her fingertips. She could touch the spacecraft now. No sooner had she done so than the silvery surface split into multiple strands and wrapped around her. At first it was like bandages, then it hardened into a solid armor. Before long, Seoyeon's reflection in the spacecraft looked like a knight straight out of a fairy tale. A silver crown with 12 tightly spaced points settled atop her head. Her sleek armor gleamed, and in her hand she held a long sword, one side of its blade curling like a key. Even just after finishing the performance, her entire body was full of energy. She felt as if she had been born anew. Thud, thud. Something inside the spacecraft knocked against the outer wall. Right, if this is a spacecraft, it must have a pilot too. Someone, please, explain to me what on earth is going on. Snapping back to her senses, Seoyeon sprang to her feet. Any action would require a swift decision. The massive skeletal hand was still descending, ready to crush everything in the stadium. Beneath its shadow, the girl whom Seoyeon had been watching was frozen in fear. She swallowed hard. Looks like there's still a lot left for me to do. What will happen in the next scene? Damn, okay. This is crazy, man. So, a meteor has come down, but it's not a meteor, it's a spaceship. And then she touches it. After expressing her feelings of not wanting to die useless, she wants a role. And then, the spacecraft wraps around her and turns into armor. So, has the spacecraft come, like fighting with this big space skeleton here, and now it's given its power to Seoyeon so she can defend the world from the skeleton. Then she might become a skeleton eventually. She's been given the power of a space knight with a crown, so maybe it's a space queen knight. Now, said the spacecraft like formed this stuff around her, but it's still there. And then something inside it knocks against the outer wall. Now the girl that she was watching earlier is frozen in fear under the spaceship that the pilot is trying to get out of. Now, what will happen in the next scene? 1. Take it down first. Seoyeon strikes the skeleton. 2. Sudden trend. Pics of Seoyeon go viral. What a weird thing to focus on. I think there's bigger matters at hand here. 3. Supporter appears. A pilot leaps from the craft. 4. Save the fan. Young fan rushes to Seoyeon. Is there a lose state here? If waves pick the wrong course of action, can we lose? Do we kill this fan and all the tripleS members die and Seoyeon turns to a skeleton? I would admire it if they actually did that. Just go all out and make it so you can actually lose and they just die. For here, we'll have to decide how this goes. So, man, either she goes straight to fighting, pics of her go viral, maybe that'll get the attention of the government and they'll send out the army to protect her. A pilot leaps from the craft. That can be helpful. It seems like this pilot will probably know more about what they're dealing with than the rest of the people that are just, victims to this mysterious skeleton. But then the fourth one is saving the fan. So if we pick the first 3, does the fan just die? We have to choose between getting an advantage against the skeleton or this fan just fucking dies in front of us. This little 13-year-old child, we just watch it die if we don't pick that. People are probably going to vote for that because you want to save the fan, right? But I would assume they wouldn't write paths where they just kill this poor innocent little wave. So thinking that way, I think my instinct would be to do number 3, just because then we can get more information about what's going on. But obviously I'd like to save the fan, and I'm just going to assume that they're not going to kill it either way. Kill her either way. Yeah, this is a very, very interesting start, man. Getting right into it, having serious characterization for Seoyeon, having her as her own unique character, kind of distinct from the real Seoyeon, but she's the protagonist here, and it's from the perspective of actual tripleS as actual idols, but then this crazy stuff happens, so very, very interested in where this is going. So Now, we have this video here. I suppose we'll maybe give more information about what the actual choices are. Universe, written based on 4 msnz. So yeah, this story is pre-msnz apparently, and the story is about them separating into 4 groups somehow, and then Seoyeon becoming a skeleton. So the chapter 1 ending. Beneath the shadow, the girl Seoyeon had been watching, frozen in fear. She swallowed hard. Looks like there's still a lot left for me to do. So where do we go? Decide what you want the first scene of chapter 2 to be. So we've read the 4 choices already. Nothing new here. Leaps high into the sky. So does she have powers from this armor that let her jump super high or something? Like, it's hard to visualize what this actual skeleton is like. Like, how big is it? Is it like Galactus from Fantastic Four, or is it like, how big is it? I don't know. I feel like we shouldn't just go straight to attacking, because who knows what'll happen. It's so weird. I'm like talking strategy with like thousands and thousands of ways. They're like, what are we going to do next? Obviously, most of them are not hearing my very rational analysis, so we might screw the pooch, but it just feels really weird, like giving my thoughts on what we should do collectively as thousands of people deciding what to do in this scenario. It's very, very interesting concept. Like, how many stories have gone like this in the past? Like, thousands of people deciding together on how a story's gonna go. Like, has that ever happened before? It's fascinating. Okay. It's pretty much just a recap of what happened, I suppose. Yeah, with that, where are we gonna go, man? It's crazy, crazy, crazy start from it. I suppose everyone leave in the comments your thoughts on what we should do next, but I think my vote is gonna be for number 3, because I just wanna get someone else who's on our side. Maybe it'll be a Luna member. That'd be crazy. Can you imagine the pilot in the spacecraft? It's a Luna member. They're just connecting the lures together. That'd be crazy. If there's even a slight chance of that, we gotta see who the pilot is. So that's what I suggest we do next. I'm sure the fan will be fine. We don't gotta worry. Anyone who votes for number 2 picks some song and go viral. I don't know what they're thinking. That's kind of crazy, but of course a little tempted just to see what happens there. I am assuming we're gonna go with number 4, but if I could give my suggestion, I would go with number 3. This is so different than any other gravities. It's like, instead of being like, oh, what do I want? What would interest me the most for, like, that's what most gravities are. Is like, we're actually gonna have strategy meetings for this one. Like, they're gonna be like, no, I'm actually invested. I want things to go well. So let me give my perspective on why we should make this choice. It's so interesting. Suppose I'll be back for chapter 2 when that comes out. I have to see where the story goes from here. I'm very, very interested. Will it be just a tiny little story of, it's 4 chapters of them fighting? Like, there has to be more that goes into how they become 4 different units, and like, why is Seoyeon potentially going to become a skeleton? Like, she already took the power of this pilot thing, so maybe the skeleton also has abilities to give its power to Seoyeon. So maybe the skeleton isn't the bad guy. Maybe there will be a twist. Maybe the skeleton is just trying to stop this evil pilot here. That's a possibility. So that's another reason we shouldn't go straight to striking the skeleton. We don't know what it's going to do, because it didn't explicitly attack, right? Yeah, all we saw is the skeleton's hand closing in. So maybe it's just trying to take this pilot and bring it back to jail. Maybe it's a terrible serial killer. We don't know. So let's not jump straight to attacking. I mean, like, that's what they always do in action movies, is just assume that any big unknown thing is a threat. But let's fight against racism. We don't know what it's doing, man. Let's ask questions before we actually make decisions and fight against things. Like, we have no idea what it's going to do, man. So that's why I strongly recommend we don't go straight to fighting the skeleton, man. We get to know the pilot here and see if they seem trustworthy, and maybe they'll let us know that the skeleton is scary, but let's not jump to conclusions, man. So I think we should definitely do either 3 or 4, but I'm leaning towards 3 just to get more information, because maybe the young fan isn't even in danger. Maybe there's nothing scary going on. Yeah, with that, I'll be back next week for chapter 2, I suppose. So let me know what you thought on this. Like, this is very, very, very fascinating. So See you in the next video.